everyone. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. Already. How are you, Sadia?
I am doing fabulous. Thank you, Kimberly, for having me back. It's a beautiful day in Las Vegas, and comedy is sprouting up everywhere.
Tell me what has been the updates. I'll sit and listen. Go ahead.
Okay, grab some tea because it's going to be a lot. I am right now in the parking lot of Jackpot, where I performed on Wednesday as part of the Student Circus. It was a variety show, amazing acrobats, transgender burlesque, comedy, magic, amazing. On Monday, I'm now part of Ray's Comedy World. Ray Wald is a Cirque du Soleil performer who sets himself on fire. He was on APT throwing fire knives at his mom. It's amazing. And this Wednesday, I'm going to be part of Michael Yo, like Yo, what's up? Michael Yo's show at Jimmy Kimmel.
Wow. So you're going to be part of Michael Yo?
Yes, Michael's a big Netflix comic. His Netflix special got him a ton of views. That's what got him on Jimmy Kimmel's. He was just part of Netflix is a Joke, a big comedy special.
Wow. I want to show him real quick. Do you mind? I got to show him. This is huge. Hold on. Give me a second.
And Michael chose me himself. He saw me at Kimmel's on another lady's show, Vicky Barbalak's show, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I want to put you on my show."
That's him right there, right?
Yes, that's him. So his dad is a PhD in like astrophysics, and he was in South Korea with the military. That's where he met Michael's mom. They got married, came back to the States, and Michael's fabulous. And then he married a former Miss Wyoming, who is, as he says, as white as they come. Like super white.
Wow, Michael, I've never heard of him. I think even Biden addressed him, or he addressed Biden or some stuff. I don't know, but
maybe.
Yes. So okay. Everything that's been going on with you, can you do me a favor? Can you highlight a little bit more in depth how you're going to be growing from those aspects of you getting hired? Because that's amazing how you can open and close like a comedy shop, right? You open and close, right?
Yeah, so Ray Wald is no stranger to entertainment. He's been doing at the Bellagio. It's a big water show. Now, Cirque du Soleil, if you're unfamiliar with it, it's like the World Series and the Super Bowl for these performers. They are the top acrobats, just all kinds, jugglers, artists, magicians, actors. They scout people from all over the world. So to just be in a Cirque du Soleil show, it's kind of like being in the Olympics. Like they are that good. He was the first artist that they signed for They saw him doing his setting himself on fire magic thing in Italy and walked up to him and handed him a contract. So this man knows entertainment. He's been doing the show for 25 years. So he invited me out to do some comedy, and he heard my songs, and he's like, you know what? I have a real variety show. I mean, we had a contortionist. She had snakes crawling on her. We had a pirate that ate razor blades. It was insane, and it was awesome. He said, we need music to open the show and close the show and come on in between the acts. So in a way, I'm kind of, the star. I mean, I'm not, but it's a team, but I open and I close. So anytime you get exposure as an artist, it's a good thing because you are always looking for people who get you. At my show, The Secret Circus here at Jackpots, I had fans come running up to me. They found me on Insta. They found my album and they said, you're my new favorite artist. You are amazing. Just keep doing what you're doing. We're going to listen to your album on our road trip. So every time you get on stage, it's almost like speed dating. You're just trying to find the one that clicks, the one person that's like, why are you not on SNL? I'm calling Lauren, or, oh my God, woman, you need a sitcom. I know just who to talk to.
It's coming. If you had to give a skit, like if you wanted to tell SNL right now, hey, look, this is why I want to be on SNL, what would you say to SNL NBC?
I would say, hello, NBC. Hello, SNL. My name is Sadia Carone, and I can be funny in 5 languages. Count them, 5. My dream is to be your host and your musical guest to make scheduling a little bit easier for you. I have a background in stand-up and improv. I've studied Meisner, Shakespeare. I was an English teacher, and I like classic SNL and modern SNL. I have a song I wrote by a character named Susanna, which is my homage to Rosanna. I remember watching a skit where she got confused about violence, like shooting people on TV, and violins. And I thought that was genius. So in honor of Gilda Radner, I wrote a song called I Think I Blew It. Yeah, I go there. And would you like me to give you a little bit of it? Because, you know, SNL's in New York, and I used to live in New York. I don't know. Do I have to be family friendly on your show? Can I do my song?
Family friendly, but no cussing. You can do it all you want.
All right. So I have a prop in my purse, which becomes kind of important. I got it. Okay. So this guy bought my dinner at the Bellagio. We know he was hoping for some fellatio. Next week, he's taking me to a Cirque show, but I think I blew it. Now, back at he was a smile on his face. My hand was going up and down. The world was going round and round. The Bellagio fountains, they spewed once more. Not one time, not 2 times, not 3 times, but 4. I heard that you're supposed to end it with a kiss, and I aimed for his head, but I think I missed. So, yeah, I think I blew it. Now, he did not give me a diamond ring, but I got a pearl necklace. That's almost the same thing. So, yeah, I think I blew it.
Sadia, you are on fire. Oh my God, girl. I love you. I love your energy. I cannot wait to see more good things happen for you.
Thank you. I'm writing songs left and right. I offered to write a theme song for Ray's Comedy World, you know, because we need some opening and closing music. I'm writing a theme song for him and his magic, you know, the fire. Fire's very spiritual when you think about it. And he sets himself on fire every day, like twice a day for the show.
Oh, wow. So, that has to be a hard task.
But you know what, Kimber, I got to say, being on your show is spiritual because you believe in me and you get me. And it's not always, you know, sunshine and rainbows. Like, it gets tough. But having people who believe in me and see it, and I'm like, oh my God, yes, that's what you want. And, you know, some people are visionaries and they can see the future like you. And some people are like, well, you know, you're not on SNL. I don't want anything to do with you. So we all start somewhere. You know, another big influence of mine is Adam Sandler. I would see him writing his songs, and I was like, oh my God, you can write a song literally about anything. And so your show.
I can see you on SNL playing Hillary Clinton as a president. Yes, like seriously, you can play a skit as a president. You can play a skit as a news host, anchor woman. Like,
yeah. So this one guy in LA was like, I did this thing about the weather. So in New York, they have their own TV channel called New York One. And I lived in New York, so I can, you know, throw you New York jokes down like the best of them. If you're not from New York, the Upper East Side is the rich, kind of uptight people. That becomes important. So I did it 2 ways. I did it Goldie Hawn style.
Oh yeah, Goldie Hawn.
She was so goofy. I'm laughing, which Lorne Michaels wrote for Laugh-In. Laugh-In was primetime sketch comedy, 60s and 70s. I watched every episode during the pandemic. And Goldie Hawn was just like so giggly and goofy. And then she'd surprise you and be like super smart. But she was always laughing and like getting it wrong. And so I did a whole newscast where I'm like, Goldie Hawn, oh my God. So here's the weather report. The only thing going down tonight on the Upper East Side is the temperature. Now down in the West Village, the barometric pressure is 420 and rising. And here in the studio, the secret number is 6.9 because that's a good time ruined by a period.
Oh.
So I did it goofy. And then Jane Curtin was, you know, old school SNL, and she was always very serious. And she was trying to be serious, and Chevy Chase just kept giving her shit. He kept calling her an ignorant slut. It was the 70s. Hello, this is Sadia Carone reporting for Weekend Update. The weather report, the Upper East Side, the only thing going down tonight is the temperature. In the West Village, the barometric pressure is 420 and rising. Up in Harlem, we expect a lot of activity in the back door. The temperature in the studio is 6.9, a good time ruined by a period. For Weekend Update, this is Sadia Carone. Back to you, Che.
You know what you should tell yourself? Seriously, you should sit up there and tell yourself, and I shouldn't tell you this on the show, but I'm going to tell you anyway for those who need to know. But people like you need to tell yourself you are a star. You are a star. You have it in you. And I'm being honest, they're doing a lot for you because they see it.
Thank you. That means so much to me. And again, I want to make sure your show gets the proper shout out because you provide a platform for people to be seen and to see each other. You know, you see it in me because you spent the time, the money, the effort, the brain power to get this platform together. So saying it publicly, VIP passes, backstage, hit me up. You know, if you're ever in Vegas, if I get to SNL, you will be my +1, okay?
Thank you. And where do you see yourself? What's the plan? Before I say what's the plans in the future, what is your secret sauce, Sadia?
Not giving a shit. I mean, I guess that's part of it. Somebody asked me on this week, oh, comedy's so hard. I could never do what you do. And I said, honestly, not doing comedy is hard. So let me tell you a true story about what happened to me at the dentist. Okay. You know, hot people should just have hot people jobs. If you are hot enough to be a model, maybe be a fucking model. You know, my dentist could be on the cover of GQ. He's young, he's hot, he's perfect. And I'm all, so he's putting all this stuff in my mouth, right? And he's so sweet and innocent. And it's like, and I didn't know if I should spit or if I should swallow. So I had to look this man in the eye and be like, oh, hey, doctor, should I spit or should I swallow? And try to say it with a straight face and not take it somewhere. And then he was squirting, you know, they squirt water. He got water all over the side of my face. And he said, oh, Sadia, I got you all wet. It took every energy. I was like, Grandma, please let me be a fucking lady. Don't let me make the joke. And so like all these thoughts are like, you know, having this giant car crash in my head because I'm thinking, oh boy, if you only knew. I was like, oh honey, I was wet the minute I walked in here. Like there were just so many. And so what came out was it's okay, I don't mind, I kind of like it. Like the worst possible, right?
Yes, I get what you're saying. You like it and all of
I
that.
can't go back there. I can't go back there.
Oh, man, that has to be an embarrassing moment.
Well, but I mean, it was embarrassing because I saw how funny it was. A normal person would have been like, oh, yeah, you know, it's water, it dries. But because I liked him and because I do comedy and Comedy Sadia follows me everywhere. So if you have the comedy or the music or the dance or whatever that is inside you, the hardest part is not doing it. And so Jeff Foxworthy's a great example. He was doing stand-up at an IBM company party. He worked for IBM. And everybody was like, oh my God, you're so funny, you're so funny, you're so funny. Now, I don't know quite what happened next. Somebody knew somebody, or maybe he started doing comedy and got discovered. If you have it in you, what's hard is not doing it. And it hurts to not do it. So you have to let it out. You have to go to open mic if you're a comic and just get on stage and let it out. You have to entertain your friends. You have to make the videos. You have to write it down. And then it's beautiful because it kind of takes on a life of its own. I'm here now. How did I get here? You probably saw me or I saw you. You know, you put your comedy out on the internet, the whole world can see it. A guy from London is going to come see my show on Monday. And I say, oh yeah, I have a gig in London. It's in Shoreditch. That's like the arts district, like the up and coming, like whatever part of town, whatever city you're in, the part that's going to be cool, like on the way to cool, you know, where it was poor. That's why people went there and it's artsy, like Soho was in New York. So as soon as I'm in London, they'll put me on stage. Yeah. And he was like, oh, that's great. But I know the biggest club in London and that's where you got to go. It's in Leicester Square. I'm like, oh yeah, that's the one that's spelled with too many letters. It looks like Leicester, like Worcestershire sauce. Like they spell stuff like that over there. He's like, yeah, I know the people there. I'll come and see you. And apparently he was some huge comic back in the day. And he's like, yeah, I could totally put in a word for you.
Good.
Sadia in London, are they ready for me? I got some things to say, about Princess Di.
I hope you go, man. I hope you go to London, come back with so much information. And I have another question for you. What is the hardest part of being a comic?
This might get me in trouble, but I would have to say,
Limit cussing a little bit.
no, not cussing. Other comics. All you need to do comedy, to technically do comedy, right? If you get up on stage and tell jokes, you're a comic. One time at open mic, yeah, okay, you can technically say you're a comic. Anybody who's 21 and can talk can be a comic. And in most businesses, there are rules. If you don't show up to work on time, you get fired. If you're dishonest, if you blah, blah, blah. But in the entertainment world, because it's your talent that is unique, there is a wee bit of unprofessionalism. I know for a fact, because it happened in front of my face, somebody walked up to a booker, handed her weed, and magically got featured. Like, I heard the whole conversation. It was right in front of me. And so you just have to just find the good people, stick with the good people. I have heard of people who do stuff, sleep with bookers, and that's okay. That's them. That's not me. That's not me. You can look at it and you can turn the other way. A lot of the guy comics make fun of me to my face. They heckle me from stage. They steal my songs. They take my melody and my subject and switch around the words. I'll sing my songs and they'll come up after me and just, say stuff like I must be a whore to sing the songs that I sing, and just really horrible things being said about me. But I just walk in strength and dignity, and I say, I don't need to tear anybody down. When I do audience work, it's always positive. I'm like, wow, we got all the good looking people here tonight. I don't need to tear anybody down. And it hurts. It really hurts. But you can rise above or you can sink down. I did one thing to get back at some of those guys. I asked one of the managers at this open mic club, hey, can I do parodies of comics, of people, Mad Magazine style? So I'll change the name so I can't get in trouble. So if your name was Sue Smith, I might call you Blue With. You see what I mean? Everybody knew who it was. And I imitated 5 of these guys, and everybody knew who I was talking about. And I roasted them. And it was okay because I didn't say their name, and it was no different than what they do to me. So the hardest part,
roast show, y'all had like a roast of your 5 people. Oh my God.
Yep, I don't go to the roast because God gave women the tongue. I talked it over with a Christian friend of mine. I said, I can destroy those men in 30 seconds and scar them for life. And she's like, don't go. It's not worth it. It's going to kick up some nasty. And she's right. So I did it my way because I'm an actor and a dancer. I can move my body. I watched how these guys move, and I made up the names, and I got some help from my friend Grace. Hi, Grace. Yeah, I'm calling you out, girl. So we talked about the guys because she would hear what they were saying about me, and I moved like them, and I had a name very similar to them, and I turned their comedy upside down. So there was this one guy, his comedy name that I gave him was Captain Morgan, maybe? Yeah. Admiral Morgan. And I said, this guy said such horrible things about women. So I'm him, right? Hi, my name is Admiral Morgan, and I say such horrible things about women, you'll think I'm secretly gay. Well, he was working in the club. Like, some of the comics work at the club. And after I said secretly gay, you hear a tray of drinks drop.
Ooh.
This guy is so horrible to women. I mean, he makes jokes about kidnapping women, like, and it's supposed to be a joke, whatever. So I was able to get back in my way. I changed the names. They all knew who they were. Everyone in the club knew who they were, but it was done with a lot of skill and a lot of talent. And I like to think a lot of class. So I just said out loud what a lot of people were thinking, and they cleaned up their act a little bit after that.
Congratulations, Sadia. I am so proud of you for doing that. That has to be hard to do, to engage in civil conflict, to tell them how they look and put a mirror in their face,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so you have to walk a fine line, because when I get up and we have to keep it family friendly. I think about some adult topics, but in a cute and adorable way. I tell them it's kind of like Sesame Street, not OnlyFans. And then to have these guys come up and just trash my character, trash my comedy, trash everything. And a famous comic, he was hosting a show I was on. He came up after me and just ripped me a new one. And I was like, why do you care? You're headlining all over the place. You go to other parts of the country and do comedy. And this lady pulled me aside and she said, Sadia, comedy is changing and you're the new wave. And he's old school.
That's exactly what I was about to say. You are different and you're the new wave of comedy. Yes.
So I write my songs, I have a woman's perspective. There are not a lot of women in comedy because I got to tell you, the hardest part is starting. I would get to the club at 5:30 for it to open at 6 to get my spot. And I would go on stage at 10:30 at night because I was new and they put me at the end. That's a long time to stay focused and excited. And, you're just so happy to be on stage. You've worked on your material. And that is a long fucking time. Excuse me. That is a long time. And then I get up there and they're like, oh, we're cutting everybody to 2 minutes now. And I kind of lost it. I was like, no, I waited for 5 hours. I'm getting 3. But once you get your friends and you find the good people and you kind of, as you grow, your standards raise. So stuff that was fine when I was brand new, I don't really go to many open mics anymore. I don't have to. And when I do, now I'm number 3, not number 57. The hardest part is starting. The hardest part is having faith in yourself. And, this guy I dated a couple years ago said, if they're talking about you behind your back, you're ahead of them. That's how they see your back. I was like, oh. So I'm happy. I've been coaching people, but
people are interested in knowing your material because they talk about you.
Yeah. And if they copy me, it's because my material's good. And if they spend half their set talking about me, even if they're talking shit, I'm taking up their time, by their own choice. My name was on stage, more times. But I got to tell you, I have cried. I have quit doing it for a little bit. And not just the personal attacks, but the stuff that they say about women in general. But I know just by showing up and being classy and doing my comedy and, calling them out in a tasteful way, there's room for everybody. I've been asked to professionally coach some corporate people to add humor into their presentations. I've coached people for free because there are rules and there are ways you can make your comedy better. I kind of got my first break with a guy named Matt Taylor. I think I responded to a Craigslist ad back in the day for an administrative assistant, and he did comedy and he would give me stage time and he coached me. He said, you're a funny person, Sadia, but you don't know how to tell a joke. Nobody knows where to laugh. So he just helped me restructure my stories. I knew what was funny. That's the hard part. Plenty of people know the structure, but they didn't get hit by the comedy stick. The comedy doesn't happen to them. They don't see it when it does. So it is a skill and a craft and a talent. No matter what you're starting out with, you can always get better. Find comics you like. I'm happy to help you. I might not be able to do it, for free forever, but I have helped a lot of the new comics. This guy, Josh, he actually came up to me a couple weeks ago and said, I remember the first time I walked into the Wise Guys Comedy Club. You came up to me, you asked if I was new, you showed me where the bathroom was, you took my photo on the stage, you introduced me to everybody, you told me who to follow on Instagram. I never forgot that kindness, Sadia. And I've probably helped 150 people that way. And it just makes me so happy because there should be room for everybody. And you shouldn't have to sit alone in your corner feeling stupid. Once you walk in that, sorry, big noise. Once you walk in that door, I want you to feel like you're part of the comedy family. And I will answer your questions. I'll show you where the clock is. If you want me to listen to your stuff, I'll tell you what I think or not, whatever. I'm happy to listen, happy to give advice. So if you feel the comedy in you, let it out. Let it out. It's okay. It's okay if you cry. There's always good people. You can focus on the bad or you can focus on the good. You got to feel the bad. Okay, we're not going to ignore the bad. But when I come home from an open mic or even a show now, I watch the tape. You should tape every set. And I listen. Did they laugh? I've had sets where people laughed a lot and I've been told your set sucked. And I'm like, well, thank you for sharing.
Guess what, though? I noticed that when we get into big time comedy, they add that laugh to anything they do and make it funny. So your laughs are organic. Remember that.
Yeah, and okay, so here's another thing. Let's get technical. There are so many different kinds of comedy. There's wordplay. That was really big before TV. Here's a joke that I use that I got from a vaudeville book. So it's a joke from 100 years ago. You're not supposed to do joke book jokes, but this one's so perfect, I had to steal it. So you can't see my body right now, but when I get on stage, I like to say, hello, my name is Sadia. It's like naughty with an S. And yes, my body says, how you doing? But my face says English teacher, because it does. And then this is the joke I stole. If you look deep into my eyes, you can see my pupils.
No, you did not go there.
Yes, I did.
No.
Funny. But that's wordplay humor. So just like a good meal is going to hit a bunch of different flavor bases, you know, you're not just going to go straight hot pepper all the way all the time. I mean, most people want sweet and salty and spicy and sour, but I'm expanding my comedy. So I do a little bit of the wordplay. There's a joke I've been testing it out on comics. I haven't said it on stage yet. You tell me what you think. Okay, so I must be the luckiest person in the world. I fell off a 65-foot ladder and survived. Well, I was only on the first rung.
No, you did. You was only on the first one.
That's from the book.
That, wow.
Because they were so clever back then. And offline, I'll tell you a few of the other jokes. I get mixed reactions.
I cannot wait.
Generally, the white people are like, you can't say that. And generally, the black people like crack up. One of them has the word forgive me.
Who is your demographics? What is your demographics? More female, more male, more black, white, Hispanic? What is your demographics look like?
Well, I would say everybody. I mean, I have a song. I like to introduce it. Republicans like it. Democrats like it. Immigrants like it. Citizens like it. People who play golf like it. People who love football like it. Gosh, who's my dad? Like human beings, not kids. I would definitely say over 21, please. Parents, you make your own decisions. Because I do comics. So the reason I had to find the vaudeville book is I do comedy at this hotel called the Ahern, and everybody there is like 70 years old. God bless y'all. I love you, Ahern. But they've been married for like 50 years, and they don't really get my dating jokes. I did my first set, and I was like, the crowd didn't really connect. I gotta figure out what old people laugh at. So I read that whole vaudeville book, and they love the cheesy jokes. They really do. So part of it is you have to adapt. Just like you don't wear a bikini to church, you know, like in church.
I do.
Okay. I'm going to church. I know. But like, you know, you wouldn't wear your sexy lingerie as your only clothing at a wedding. You know, you got it time and place. So I'm matching my comedy to the crowd. So the older people, they like the cheesy dad jokes. Now, this is one of my favorite jokes. I heard this at a corporate meet and greet, and I stole it. What's brown and sticky? Ew.
What?
You're supposed to think it's, you know, number 2.
I know. I was thinking that.
A stick is sticky.
Oh my God, you got me.
No, but you get everybody, and it's a wordplay joke. And I do want to give a shout out to another one of the comics here, Evan Connolly. He is like one flavor, consistently hilarious. He will tell you, don't come see my set twice because it's the same. He's hilarious, but I got to tell you this joke. This is Evan's joke. I'm just repeating Evan's joke to give him props because it's so brilliant. We all wish we came up with it. He said, I know I'm sick. And he's a little bit on the nerdy side. She's like, yo, you know how I know that I'm sick? Instagram said I'm an influencer.
Oh my God. See, I have a suggestion for you, Sadia.
Uh-huh.
Okay, the only suggestion, you are on fire. I love all your jokes, whether I laugh or not. And I put that on God. Now, I just love hearing you. You're very entertaining. So my goal is what I do. Is when I joke, I laugh at it, but I'm not you. You know, when I crack a joke, I laugh at the joke before the joke comes, and that makes people not. You know what I mean? And that's what you do. But you're getting paid to do this, so I would suggest you kind of try to, because you feel the joke, you feel the laugh in the joke, right?
Well, when I'm on stage, it's different. I'm telling it to you now as like Sadia, yammering, kicking it, sitting next to flowers in a parking lot. When I'm on stage, you have to focus on the audience, and you're presenting the joke, right? So the one time I laugh though is I sing a song about feet guys. Feet guys are sweet guys and they're easy on the eyes, blah blah. And it ends with try one on for size. And I cannot sing that without laughing. So try one on for size. It always comes out like that because it's so funny. But normally when I tell the joke, you're presenting the joke, so you want them to enjoy it. It's like when your kid unwraps a Christmas present. You already know what it is. You want them to have the joy of discovering it.
Where do you see yourself going in the future, Sadia?
Huh?
Where do you see yourself going in the future, sweetie?
Well, I hope to be back on your lovely podcast because this is so much fun. We could do a comedy set together if you wanted. That would be a super fun thing. We did a 5-minute set.
If I had you on every week and you could just tell me your updates.
Perfect. And you give me your feedback.
Yes.
So, okay, one quick thing. When you start the creative career, you kind of are putting the universe in charge. I can't sit here and say, a normal person would be like, I'm getting a PhD from Harvard. I'm going to get my CPA. I'm going to study really hard and become an EMT. I'm going to pass that firefighter test. I just got to keep showing up and keep finding the good people and listening to my heart and walking through the open door. At one point, I got offered a modeling job. I know I laugh, but people who knew picked me for a costume for a theater store. They wanted me to model all their costumes for their catalog. And I'd been working out a lot. And I was like, okay, I can wear clothes and stand still for photos. Like a lot of people would have been like, no, I can't do that. But if people who know what they're doing ask you to do it, if a really hot guy asks you out, just say yes. He knows who the hell he wants to spend time with. If a casting director says, hey, I want you to star in my movie, read the script. If you like the script, do the movie. Like, trust the people who are outside of your field. Of course, my dream is SNL. Of course, my dream is to do commercials. Of course, my dream is a sitcom and a movie and just 8 million things, and solar panels for everyone, and end hunger, and free public transportation. I'm one of those that's been poor enough long enough. I'm gonna make some changes in this world. If the Lord blesses me with money, I'm gonna fix some stuff, God willing. So all I can really hope for 5 years from now is to be alive and to be healthy and to still be talking to great people like you. 5 years ago, I didn't know I'd be doing this. So it's good to have goals, but they're just a kind of direction. You know how you can be driving to LA and you want to stop off someplace and then you end up sightseeing, you find a cafe, you meet a guy, like whatever. Like, you can be headed in the direction, but sideways is also okay. If SNL never happens and I'm 80 years old, I'll be sad. But what if I get a 10-year sitcom where I get to express everything inside of me and it helps millions and millions of people all around the world, So everybody wants to win a Grammy. Everybody wants to win an Oscar. Everybody wants a hot, rich husband, just covering all the bases. But be grateful with what you have. Always believe in tomorrow. And the best way to move forward is to minimize your contact with idiots. My definition of idiot is changing. So people that I thought were cool even a year ago, I've seen more of them. I'm like, I don't think we're that cool anymore. Sometimes you got to shut up and put up and do the show and just get through it. But you have choices too. So walk through the open door, avoid the bad people, let your gift out, and just have fun. If it's not fun, it might be doing something wrong.
Well said, Sadia. I wanted to say something before we end. Basically, it could be a show that come out in the next 5 years that's like Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live, and that would get you really into Saturday Night Live. You never know.
Yeah, Jim Carrey started on In Living Color, and so did Jennifer Lopez. Sketch comedy. People say I have a great commercial look. That I could be making my money doing commercials and then finance some stuff. So just find the good people. Find the good people and stick with them.
I got an idea.
Ooh, let me hear it.
Sometimes if we do a skit, because this is like uncut, obviously you made it when you started cussing, but it's okay, I'll edit it. But maybe you should come into character with, like, start making characters that like you're acting, like something
Like every week.
Yeah, every week.
Game on. Deal.
Like one day
Deal.
you come in and start study Hillary and just say, "Hi, I'm Hillary Rodham Clinton." You know what I mean?
I like that. I like that a lot. So Hillary, dropped the phone. I'm so excited. I was like, oh my God, yes. How I feel about Hillary and my doing Hillary. This is gonna be
You already got it.
Her too. I can roast the bejesus out of Hillary Clinton the same way I roasted those comics. It's a free country. Well, we'll call her Hillary Minton or something. I don't want to get shot the way Vince Foster did. I don't know if you know who he is. I'll talk more about him next week.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna let
I
you.
love your ideas. We're a good team. So this is what I'm talking about. Find people who have good ideas that you like. Plenty of people give me stupid ideas that I hate, and I just smile and nod. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, I'll definitely consider that. And inside, I'm like, get away from me. I love your ideas. I'm going to invest time and energy in my Hillary Clinton spoof, and I'll have it ready for you next week. Thank you for the assignment.
How can the people reach you?
On Instagram, Spotify, Facebook, it's Sadia Music with a space between the two, I believe, or just my full name, all one word. S like Sam, A, D like David, I-A, C-A-R like a car, O-N-E like the number 1, Sadia Carone. And most of my stuff is not safe for kids, all right? 21 and up. You heard it from me first.
Well done. Oh my God, I cannot wait to do this. We're about to talk off the line. Oh my God, guys, y'all take care. Be safe. Wait for
Sorry for the swearing.
Yes, take care. Bye. Stay on the line.
Okay, I'm here. I'm going to switch.